the boundary.
He could just get the ball to hold up on this hill, provide the batsman with one or two more thoughts and perhaps a few more dangers. His line has been excellent. And there we go.
And time for the first bowling change of the day. Not a bad time to do it. 23 minutes to 5 in the afternoon. Angus Fraser can tell his children he bowled all day until 5 o'clock, or 25 to 5 rather. That was uppish, but firmly hit. Between cover and gully. Jonty Rhodes still looking to bat in a very positive frame of mind here.
And I think that's very important from South Africa's point of view. A little bit lucky to get away with that one, actually. Didn't really roll the wrists over the top.
That's parried, and down it goes. Michael Atherton, the man who tried to knock it up, he got a hand to it. It was flying towards him pretty quickly. That's the first blemish really on England's performance today.
And this is very well bowled. You see that one going away and on a perfect length. It really flew to Michael Atherton. It did well to get his left hand to it. He thought he'd pushed it up enough, but second and third slip, unable to get around to it.
That is a good shot. Just over pitched a little bit too close to leg stump. But not what I'd call a genuinely bad delivery, and just beautifully played away through the onside. Fine shot. It's carried the ropes. Well, suddenly Dominic Cork finds that things aren't going all his way. He's got Jonty Rhodes to contend with.
Well, this is not really a bad delivery either. I mean, it's not all that short. He's backed his eye. He's got a wonderful eye, Jonty Rhodes. This is just a great shot.
The ball. Well, it's a no ball. Celebrations in amongst the 30,000 people in the crowd. Irony there. Michael Atherton, the man at third slip, who just parried the one in the previous over. He caught this one very easily.
Well, this is a sin from Dominic Cork. He's been warned a few times by umpire Sharp, and you can see he is over here. He's really just striving for that little bit extra. He's bowled the perfect delivery. It's just gone nicely away from Jonty Rhodes, carried quite comfortably, and that's a very good catch by Mike Atherton. All in vain, of course.
Well, we're not short of action today. This is good entertainment. It's good cricket too. Four runs.
Oh, that's a cracker. He's really going to play some positive cricket. He's worked it out that if Hansie Cronje can just stay at the other end, he's the one who's going to strike.
Hansie Cronje, by contrast, 4 not out from 26 balls. Struggling somewhat. Just intent on survival, really. Oh, still there.
And again we see not really the dancing footwork, just a little shorter from Cork, just gone away. Well, he's pulled the bat away at the end, but I think we've got to give the points to the bowler there. Really is bowling well, Dominic Cork. Batsman not sure which ones to leave, which ones to play. The odd ball he's making come back off the seam, the odd one that's going straight on, not swinging away, and that just compounds it all for the batsman.
Well, he's going to get 4 runs for it. It's in the air. That's 4. Well, it's respite for Hansie Cronje. It was wide, it was there to be hit. He didn't hold back, he intentionally put it over the field. Oh, that was just past Angus Fraser. Just over his right shoulder, really. Mistimed shot worth 3. Well, Dean Headley, I don't know, I can maybe call himself a little bit unlucky.
Just slightly slower here, Hansie Cronje into the shot. Again, you just see that right foot just hanging back from Hansie Cronje. You see it hanging back there, and that's what lifts the ball. It takes your weight backwards.
Well, actually, this partnership has very quickly developed. It's now worth 48 off just 57 balls. Most of that's down to Jonty Rhodes. Turned away, and well, it's a chase. Steve James, who's actually covered quite a lot of ground today. No one at long leg. Dominic Cork's been concentrating so well at bowling on the stumps or just outside off stump.
These two have put on 51 in 43 minutes. You'd never think they were 46 for 4, but they've played very positively, and Jonty Rhodes particularly has played very well.
No, it's an absolute peach of a delivery, though. It was nearly number 5.
I don't reckon he could have played that even if you told him he was going to bowl it. That is just, well, it was like Shane Warne. That is a beautiful delivery. You really can't play those. It's far too good for anybody.
Now, Peter Pollock is the man on the right, and Peter Parfitt on the left. Peter Parfitt, former England left-hander. Peter Pollock, fine fast bowler for South Africa, and quite a good all-rounder as well.
Well, Alex Stewart asking his premier strike bowler to bowl still more from the nursery end. 4 wickets to his name. I'm sure it'd be difficult to grab the ball off Dominic Cork. He'd want to bowl all day.
Nice answer from Hansie Cronje. Cronje is 23 now, Rhodes 32. Cronje has accelerated just in the last quarter of an hour.
Came together when the score was on 46.
It's an even better shot. Fine cover drive early in the over, and then a perfectly played back cut, I suppose, was more powerful than that. Might have been a square cut that just was on him a little bit too quickly.
Well, these are the sorts of shots you expect to see when your side has not lost any wickets, or perhaps just one, and the side is full of confidence. Not when there are 4 wickets down and your side are in trouble, but this is the beauty of the South African team.
Well, Dominic Cork has finished his spell. It'll be a bowler of less pace coming on from the nursery end, Mark Elam. Always runs available when there's no third man in. Both these batsmen good runners between the wickets. Rhodes we know about. Cronje is also no slouch. That's 4 runs. Just the faintest of perhaps a tickle, perhaps it was off the middle, and an authentic leg glance.
Well, the problem that swing bowlers have, if it doesn't swing, he's angled it to swing back towards the slips. This has just gone straight on. Jonty Rhodes just getting a conventional little tickle down the leg side, and fine leg is very square because of Mark Elam's lack of pace.
Not a bad shot in the end. The ball hurried onto him. It was very well bowled by Fraser. The batsman did well in the end to play it as he did. Not good news, I'm afraid, but we need to bring it to you. 3 lights on, which is a fair guide for the umpires. They have their own light meters, but that means the light is deteriorating here. George Sharp is just giving it the once over. That ball will slow up. That's the very wet area of the ground. Now then, George Sharp is going to have a little chat with Darrell here, see what they think. They may use their eyes, they may use the light meters, depends how bad it is out there.
That's a beautiful stroke. Beautiful stroke. Not only a far-reaching stride with the front foot, but lovely flexibility in the knee there, bending the knee into the stroke. Super shot. So Jonty Rhodes now on to 43. Of course, Mark Elam is just straining to get some swing here. He's trying to pitch the ball well up, risking the half volley. Oh, well bowled, and that's exactly what he wanted to do. A few appeals around the ground. Jonty Rhodes is still there. I think Mark Elam will be encouraged, but at the same time, we'll have to give that round to Rhodes.
Well, this is a beautiful delivery. Just in the ideal spot, getting Jonty Rhodes to come forward, and then it just zipping off the seam and beating the outside edge.
All runs there, and there's no third man, so that'll race away. Although it's a wet outfield, it's there already. That's 4 runs to Jonty Rhodes.
Well, poor old Angus Fraser has strived all day to get a wicket. He's bowled 13 overs, in his 14th over, and he's seen on a few occasions the ball disappear down to third man. He does seem to wear that hangdog expression quite well, but on that particular occasion it was deserved. He was very unlucky.
Well, he's bowling with that slope, right to left, from outside off stump. And very well played by Jonty Rhodes, getting right forward onto the front foot. Well, the appeal there came from second slip. Very well run. Another feature, of course, of Rhodes' play. 2-leg buys. Every run is important. 130 for 4 now. Beautifully placed. That was a long half volley. It was a delicate thump of the bat. Not much movement at all from Hansie Cronje, but his timing. It sounded a good piece of wood out there too.
One more run added before play ceased for the day. 135 for 4 at the close. Men out: Barker 22, Kirsten 4, Callis Norton, Cullinan 16. And then that face-saving partnership between the skipper Hansie Cronje and Jonty Rhodes, 38 and 47 respectively. And the bowling figures: Fraser none for 38 and unlucky. Headley none for 24. Thought he was a bit short today. And Elam no wicket for 17 from 3 overs. Dominic Cork 14 overs, 3 maidens and 4 for 53.
the legend that was Chelsea's Gianfranco Zola to Arsenal's backbone, Thierry Henry, ESPN Classic celebrates the footballers that left their homelands and joined the Premier League, providing the unique sporting variety that makes it what it is today. Arguably the best football league in the world. We pay homage to the Premier League's overseas legends. Every night this week at 19:55 on ESPN Classic.
Dirk Nowitzki is widely regarded as one of the best players in the NBA today. In 2007, he became the first European-born player in NBA history to receive the league's Most Valuable Player award. Standing at 2.1 meters, he is an all-purpose forward and is one of the world's best shooters for his height. Nowitzki was born in 1978 in Germany and was discovered at the age of 16. He applied for early entry to the 1998 NBA draft, where he was picked 9th overall by the Milwaukee Bucks. Immediately traded to the Dallas Mavericks, Nowitzki started off slowly but soon emerged as one of the most dominant players on court. In 2002, a survey of NBA general managers named him the league's top international player, and he's been selected as an NBA All-Star for 6 years running. Nowitzki's international career is perhaps even more impressive. At the 2002 Basketball World Championships, he emerged as the leading scorer, massively contributing towards the German team's bronze medal victory. In 2005, the German team went one better, winning the silver medal. Nowitzki was named Most Valuable Player in both tournaments. The lofty German is thought by some to be leading a revolution on court. Helped by rule changes to discourage contact and increase scoring, NBA basketball has developed into a more finesse-orientated game, perfected by the likes of Nowitzki.
Can't wait for the Chelsea-Liverpool game on October 4th. Here at ESPN Classic, we want to give you the full picture around the live event, so you can enjoy those unforgettable moments from the past. We call it Around Live. Don't miss our classic Chelsea-Liverpool clashes.
Welcome to the highlights of the second day of this Cornhill Test match at Lord's. An unusual day yesterday with rain and inclement weather. Spoilt it a bit, but we did have that splendid partnership between the South African captain and Jonty Rhodes. This is the way it looks at the start of play on the second day. 135 for 4. Those 4 quick wickets, Barker, Kirsten, Cullis and Cullinan. And then Cronje 38 and Rhodes 47. Now, the bowling figures for England dominated there by Dominic Cork. 14 overs, 3 maidens, 4 for 53. He got a little tired towards the end, which is understandable because there were really only 2 bowlers used all the way through, and Fraser was definitely unlucky. England could have done much better than that, but with that pitch settling down today, then I anticipate it will be quite difficult out there for the England bowlers. David Gower is out in the centre of the ground now to tell us about the strip of turf.
Well, I think this pitch played pretty much as predicted yesterday. You can see by these footmarks here, the bowlers haven't made too much of an impression on the surface. The surface is pretty hard. There are 1 or 2 dints, again, down on the seamer's length, where Dominic Cork bowled so well yesterday. But basically, it's pretty much unmarked. And I think now that it's dried out a bit, and we've got the weather today to help it dry out even further, it's going to become a very good pitch over the next 2 or 3 days. So England need to make early progress again today into the South African batting.
David Gower with his pitch report, and we join play now in the first over of the day. It's the 5th ball. Angus Fraser is the bowler from the pavilion end. Hansie Cronje is taking strike, and no runs have been added to the overnight score. He did that a number of times yesterday too.
This is a beautiful delivery. First couple a bit short. Hansie Cronje on the back foot, and look at the footwork there. Really in not a good position, and that's a very good delivery from Angus Fraser. Just watch the footwork there.
Well, they tend to think Hansie has a bit of a weakness against a good short pitcher. Perhaps that wasn't quite so good. Yesterday they were carrying umbrellas. Some of them were wearing raincoats, some Wellington boots. Now it's all shirt sleeves and shorts, shirt sleeves for Raymond Illingworth.
Long way forward, and worth a shout. That's the one that doesn't go away. Hansie Cronje, long way forward here. It's probably hit him in line and hit him on the way up. That would have certainly gone well over the stumps. Enthusiastic appeal, but that's all it was.
It's well bowled. He drew him into the shot, and Rhodes couldn't stop himself then.
Very good bowling. He's made him play two. They've been pretty straight. Now you just see this one a little wider, and that's very good thinking and very good bowling from Angus Fraser.
A good shot. Just the pace taken off it by Robert Croft. Half century for Jonty Rhodes. And that is a very good innings. Came in and attacked where defence might have been on the score sheet for a lot of people. So that partnership between Jonty Rhodes and Hansie Cronje is exactly 100 now. 46 for 4 when they came together.
That is on fire. That's a great shot. Half volley. That's 50 runs for Hansie Cronje. And a nice solid way to get there. Well, that's close. Strange decision from Hansie Cronje, whose heart must have been in his mouth as the appeal went up.
Well, I think he's completely lost it here, because he's playing no shot, and probably George Sharp saying it's going down the leg side, but he then started to set off for a single or a leg by. So obviously if you don't play a shot you can't take. So just for a moment Hansie Cronje perhaps just wrapped up in reaching a significant milestone in getting to his 50.
Well, Lord's is certainly a picture today. Another full house. That means there are around about 30,000 people here today enjoying the sunshine. A very different day to yesterday that was so grey and unpleasant, but also different today is the cricket. Well, that's not far away. It's going to run down to the fine leg boundary for 4, but it's come through off the inside edge. Good shot. There is a man out there. He's not going to get to it. Steve James. Jonty Rhodes is so quick onto these. There's no great pace in the pitch, and he seemed to have all the time he needed just to play this shot away in front of square.
Dean Headley is coming on now, and he's bowling from the nursery end.
Beautifully straight. Just had to check back on the shot a little bit, but he's timed it well enough. And Robert Croft certainly can't catch it. That's 4 runs. That's misdirected by Dominic Cork, and his man on the leg side boundary is much squarer.
One or two groans in the crowd, but nothing to worry about. It was always dropping short. It was not a chance.
Well, I think straight off the pad here, a little bit of extra bounce from Dominic Cork.
Beautifully bowled. Beautifully bowled. There is a considerable slope out there, and Hansie Cronje, who's played well, has been quick onto the front foot, and here Rhodes is just on the inside. You sort of expect the ball to come into you all the time, but in fact that went straight on.
This is not very good bowling from Dean Headley. Just strained down the leg side.
Well, that was terrific running, Barry, wasn't it?
These two have a real good understanding. They've played South African schools together. They've played a lot of cricket together, obviously, over the years.
Oh, well bowled, a better ball.
And that's the chance of getting him out. It's playing at the wide ball that Jonty Rhodes has a little bit of a tendency to do.
That's a convincing shot, all right. Another great example of how you go back, you go right back. You create time, you find time, and you've got a lovely swing of the bat outside the off stump. Big shot for LBW, but it's also a big stride down the pitch by Jonty Rhodes.
Too far forward, and correct decision by umpire Hare, Darryl Hare from Sydney, Australia. It's probably pitched in line and well worth the shout, but he is a long way forward, and I guess it's difficult to give that out.
191 for 4 now, and there's a very good performance indeed by Hansie Cronje, the captain. Jonty Rhodes, 78 not out. And I have to keep reminding you, it was 46 for 4, which is a very strong position. Excellent South African batting for the moment. 150 partnership comes up.
That's good fielding all round there. 200 up for South Africa though, 201 for 4. Splendid partnership. It's a fine shot. Well, in the first over from Robert Croft, he was inclined to straight to the leg side. It's quite easy to do that when you're bowling spin from the pavilion end. It's just that little slope on the ground. And just as bad as being around about middle and leg, and of a full length is to be short outside off stump, particularly if you've got a fellow who square cuts so well.
Not the most convincing of shots, that, from Jonty Rhodes. Perhaps even a top edge that has gone up and hit him on the chin. I think he decided almost premeditatedly to play that shot, certainly a top edge.
And there it is again. Doesn't need to be over short, because Jonty Rhodes is a very strong cutter, either square of the wicket or preferably for him just behind point. Plays it beautifully.
There's old Father Time just changed sides of the ground. He used to be on top of the grandstand. He's now next to the mound stand on top of the new scoreboard. I wonder if he likes what he sees.
Good shot for 4. Yes, there was plenty there yesterday for the bowlers, and they made best use of it.
And now Mark Elam has his first chance of the day with the ball from the pavilion end. 3 overs last night, none for 17.
Well, this is a very bold move by England captain Alex Stewart. I know many captains, both at county level and international level, would, after a session like they had this morning, said to his two most experienced and most potent strike force bowlers, "You have a bowl after lunch." That would, in England's case, be Cork and Fraser, but he's plumped for Headley and Elam.
Good work from Ramprakash, but Hansie Cronje is still not quite timing this ball consistently. He's hit it fairly hard into the ground, and it looked a reasonable shot, but he's just about 5–10% off. Good slower ball there too. That's a well-disguised change of pace. And Jonty Rhodes nearly threw the shot. It was definitely a leading edge. Just look here at the list of best individual scores at Lords for the South Africans.
Let's keep going, hey boys, let's keep going down there.
If you go back to 1935 for the highest there. That's out. That's the breakthrough that they needed. Mark Elam has the wicket, and I suppose it's entirely right that Hansie Cronje gets out in that way. He's been mistiming the ball. He's struggled his way through, made a good 81, but he just leant back a bit on that. Hit it hard, but straight at the fielder, Mark Ramprakash. And that's just what England needed at this stage. Late in the day, it seems, but they've got the wicket.
Well, full credit to Alex Stewart here. He's given Mark Elam his first opportunity of the day, and Mark Elam has responded very well.
So it's all-rounder time now. Sean Pollock is the new batsman. He's been waiting patiently all day. Well, that's given George Sharp plenty to think about. Good delivery. Might just have been an inside edge.
Well, they're almost sounded like there were two noises, but that's ever so close. And if there weren't two noises, can't really see where that was going, aside from straight onto middle stump. Well, it doesn't look as though it's hit the bat, and I think Dean Headley can feel a little bit upset at not getting the decision there.
Now that's, I think, comes clanging off the helmet. Yep, signal leg buys. And considering that ball has gone 20–30 yards out to mid-wicket, gives you a clue as to how hard that's hit the helmet. That's hit the bat and hard. It's dropping short of the boundary. Nonetheless, it's enough to take Jonty Rhodes through to 100. 3 runs, that pull over mid-wicket. He's reached what must be every visiting cricketer's dream. 100 at Lords, and none of those boys are going to begrudge him that. He's played beautifully for South Africa, both in the first test in Birmingham and now here at Lords. That's going to be 4 runs. Sean Pollock off the mark.
A wonderful knock by Jonty Rhodes. His job's not over yet. South Africa not quite out the woods. They'll be a lot happier than they were when they were 46 for 4, but Hansie Cronje and now Jonty Rhodes have done a wonderful job.
Oh, that'll be very close. The feet jammed together on the crease there. Gone absolutely nowhere.
This one we find just coming back, but just bouncing a little high.
Well bowled, and that's a beautiful line. Excellent line. No progress made onto the front foot.
Well, just from the naked eye, I don't think there's a better ball being bowled all day than this one. And this is just a perfect delivery.
There you see, that gives you a good profile of the innings with this huge partnership of 184, Rhodes and Cronje, really restoring the balance, repairing the damage, and putting South Africa ahead. Big shout for LBW, and certainly Jonty Rhodes moved across in front of his stumps there. 250's up.
You know, I've got ESPN Classic on over there. What, really? Well, you want to be bloody careful then, surely. Come on, you always love seeing yourself on TV. I'll tell you what, they don't make drivers like me anymore. Oh, yeah, I know. You're looking good, by the way. I'm feeling well. Yeah, I'm feeling very well. You really are.
Tune in to ESPN Classic and catch up with the greats of the motorsports world.
Oof. Well, he's unlucky now. I think he's beaten the bat too many times to be kind.
He really is varying his pace very well. That was a lot quicker. Really surprised Sean Pollock. Plenty of effort went into it, and he's had to hurry his shot.
Well, this is the frustration for spin bowlers. If that was a seam bowler, that would be regarded as being very close. Just gone back up the hill fractionally, struck the pad. But as a slow bowler, there is an element of doubt put on in the minds of the umpire. Angus Fraser is going to take the ball straight away.
Off the pad, but it goes onto the total. He's jagged a couple back in at the batsman. First of all, that very good ball to Jonty Rhodes, and then he's got the one to go away and has picked up the wicket of Sean Pollock. Nasser Hussain took the catch, and it was a good sharp one too. But that is splendid bowling, and it's a 5-wicket haul for Dominic Cork once again.
And Sean Pollock just looking to play this on the onside, closing the face of the bat, and a nicely taken catch there by Nasser Hussain. Just the sort of breakthrough that England needed with this second new ball. Mark Boucher, who is the new batsman, is that one's a real eye-opener for him.
That's very well played. Dash way for Boucher to get off the mark.
Angus Fraser now operating from the pavilion end. Well, it's through Jonty Rhodes. It's the inside edge. Well, it's a change of fortune for Angus Fraser. And the end of an awfully good innings from Jonty Rhodes. Little puff of the cheeks as he strides off. But he's provided this Lord's crowd with some wonderful entertainment. Fully deserving the standing ovation.